Okay, so we're going to start off with the AGL Super Saiyan Blue Goku from the final stage of the Vegeta story Red Zone. And of course we start off with no slot 1 unit. I mean, hopefully the turn 1 damage reduction for Sin will be enough here. Plus Goku can be attack lowered, so he is being attack lowered by STR Omega. Nice. No super in slot 1. And then yeah, because we've got the 7 orbs, we attack lower him even more by hitting him with Texin. So that was the big thing about these fights, like this Goku and the Vegeta, the fact they had so much HP. I remember doing challenge runs like on streams where we would be using teams that weren't the Vegeta or Gogeta teams, and like during the 10th anniversary, and it would take even ones where we would beat the run, it would take like 40 odd minutes or so because they got so much health. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this team does, especially considering once we start getting the Omega domains active and stuff like that. Like, so many of the units on this team can put out absolutely insane damage. Yeah, Shadow Dragons. Bear in mind we've got no Omega support here yet because we still don't have either of them. They're both on the second turn, okay. Not ideal. Yeah, STR Omega in slot 3, just casually 49 million attack stats here from this support unit. No crits. 10. But, I mean, STR Omega in any event when the enemy can be attack lowered. STR Omega obviously putting in a lot of work. But yeah, this is annoying. Having them both together. That's alright. Throw out the domain. Start getting these buffs underway. Do this. There we go. See if we can melt Vegeta. Yeah, like once you start getting the domains up and have all the characters actually properly linked up, and like the numbers that these guys can hit on this team, then yeah, we can definitely get through this a lot faster than we have been able to in the past with other teams. And this team has so much attack lowering, so for these events where it's actually relevant, like it's going to have such a huge effect. Just remember, Zamasu and Rose and then the Omegas only share Big Bad Bosses, Fierce Battle and Legendary Power, which is, I mean, if you're only going to have a couple of links active, those are some good ones to have. Big Bad Boss is obviously very good. Yeah, Rose lowering attack on the 12 key, Omega lowering attack on the 12 key. I wonder if we action break to wear super early on. But yeah, Omega with another action break. But yeah, crazy to think that these guys on this rotation, their 18 keys were all, they're like 49 to 50 million on a rotation where they don't have their like best link partner or a support unit or anything crazy like that. Like, this rotation's not ideal. I mean, we still have the we got the double support active now from the Omegas on the previous turn. Like, Sin's not really supposed to be a slot 1 unit, but hopefully with the type advantage and all the attack lowering, he'll be okay. And then obviously when he attacks, because we've got the 7 orbs, he just lowers attack again. So 41 million from this sub-EZA into a 44. Okay. And yeah, remember the Shadow Dragons now have 69% damage reduction. He still has, what, 60 Sin currently? Yeah. Gonna see a lot of those double-digit damage things. Also, I don't know, I think Omega must have action braked away the super in the first slot in the last turn, but Omega can also nullify this Goku super attack as well. So if we get into a situation where we can see that. Oh yeah, of course the LR Shadow Dragons also lower attack. AGL Rose not meeting the damage threshold. Let's go. He hasn't been hit yet, so there's a good few attacks in slot 3 for him here to get some build up now. But yeah, that's kind of funny. All these other units on the team doing this like crazy damage, and then AGL Rose just like 0. He got hit first, yep, so he had 45% damage reduction when he took that hit, still took double digit damage. Okay. I like to use Rose's active skill because even though it only buffs him and the AGL Rose, it does give defense, whereas the Zamasu one only gives attack, which, I mean, obviously if we want to speed through events like as quickly as possible, that's fine, but I like using that one, especially in situations like this where we're going to put him in slot 1, just so that the I was going to say this so the Omegas can link, but it's the wrong Omega, they can't link, so I probably should have just put the physical one in slot 1 actually. That's the only downside for STR Omega, him having the same name as the physical one. I kind of just like autopiloted sort of 2 Shadow Dragons and was like, yeah, we'll put them next to each other, but yeah, I should have left Rose in the middle. I really want to see him super physical Omega and get nullified, but of course he won't. Dokkan's still running ads of AGL Blue Vegeta from 2023. And even they know that that unit is a meme. I mean, considering he's got no links active, 45 million attack stat is actually kind of crazy for no links active at all. Like, that's kind of wild when you think about it. Okay, I mean, this is going to be a wild turn. Like, all this support, the domain's active again, like, yeah, it's going to be a pretty good turn here, I would imagine. Friend Omega, I think it's 90%. Typical, we finally got the, finally got him to super physical Omega, and he didn't negate it. 77.9, so yeah, 78 million, basically. That's pretty good. And then yeah, 43 for Sin. Like, everyone on this team just hits so hard because of the domain and all the support, and like we just see crazy numbers out of this team. Also, this Goku is so like ridiculously attack lowered now. Like, everybody just hitting him with these attack lowering supers. The Int Shadow Dragon's 54 million. Like, even all these EZAs and sub EZAs and stuff, even all the support units are just hitting so insanely hard on this team. It's crazy. And there we go. And there we go. I mean, that should be GG. Rose with his own active skill buff and the domain and the links from AGL Rose. Like, obviously, Omega doesn't look as good on this turn, but he's still getting the support from AGL Rose as well. But and remember, so before we see the number, remember my Rose is 69%, right? He has 1 dupe. So let's see what he does here on this turn. Hey, there we go. 61 million. Okay. It's pretty good. Crit. No additional, though, from the passive. But then we do get the hidden potential. That's why I wanted a dupe for him. Because obviously he can go so crazy. Now, can AGL Rose? Yeah, okay, he's up to 34 million now. Okay. No repeat of the 0 turn that we saw previously. Alright, well there you go. That was Omega's team absolutely dismantling the blue Goku. Nice and quick. Obviously the fact that he has the ability to be attack lowered is very, very good for this team. But yeah, I imagine we'll probably set new best times for all of these stages. But yeah, that was the blue Goku one. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. Okay, so we got blue Vegeta next. This one should be pretty good. Obviously, he always supers in slot 1, but Omega's got type advantage, so should be pretty good. Of course, we're going to go ahead and start off with the domain. Get this extra attack buff. And then off we go. The other Omega is on the next turn, which is good. Now, obviously, this Vegeta can't be attack lowered, so gotta be careful about that. But he only supers in slot 1, so it's not really as big of a deal. Like, he can't be attack lowered, but we always know where he's gonna super, so. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, he gets the maximum stat buff if he gets 7 as well, because remember, he gets attack and defense per orb obtained, and the maximum is 7. But yeah, in terms of the special abilities that he gets, the 7 orbs just gives him lowers the attacked enemy's attack, which if they can't be attack lowered, it doesn't matter. So if he gets 6 orbs on that turn, it's not the end of the world, but he does lose out on a little bit of attack and defense, which again is not the end of the world. That doesn't like suddenly make him bad or anything. But Rose actually doing damage to Vegeta here. Because Vegeta has a damage threshold as well, right? Maybe it's just because we crit. No, good. And then he's going to get hit anyway, so. Wait, how did the follow-up attack that also crit do no damage when he just did... Oh, it was a normal, of course. Alright. Well, that's fine. So yeah, now we've got this rotation, which... Yeah, get the orbs for Sin. Again, like, we don't need the 7 orbs for Sin on this rotation, technically, but we'll get them anyway. But yeah, Sin and the STI Omega sharing all 7 links is pretty good. Should see some good damage on this turn. Yeah, it's kind of funny to see like these fights where they had so much HP taking so long before, and then yeah, this Omega team, like I said, is going to set like new best times for all of these stages because we just tear through the enemy. 43 million. He disables guard, so it doesn't matter that the enemy is int. And then, I mean, you crit anyway. Gonna almost A1 GT boss potential farmer. Right now I'm Squidward looking at Patrick and SpongeBob playing with Rose and Omega. I do not have either Rose or Omega. Because yeah, I mean, that's the problem, is obviously, like, I don't even know who you would run. Like, if you don't have Omega, who you would run as a team and then have him as a friend. Like, you just would have to stick to one category, I guess. You can't run, like, the exact team that I'm running now, but with, like, just a different leader and then an Omega friend, because... who are you running as that leader? If it's you can't run a GT boss lead and have the Rosés on the team. Omega just, like, STI Omega, by the way, just in slot 3, casually doing 80 million attack stats as a floating support. But yeah, Sin getting all 7 orbs does give him more stats. He gets, I think it's 50% attack and defense per orb up to 350. So if you want the full buff, he does need 7 orbs. But But in terms of the actual abilities that he gets, he doesn't need 7, because the 7th one is just for attack lowering the enemy, and if they can't be attack lowered, then it's not the end of the world if you don't get that. Yeah, Rose just casually eats that in slot 1 as well. Love to see that. 48.7. That's the thing, Rose and Zamasu is just such a good unit on this team, because they're like, whilst not being a Shadow Dragon, they still have those couple of big links, and then he's just good enough to stand on his own as like a great unit on the team, even without having to have like his best link partner next to him or anything. So 75 million for Omega. That's my Omega as well, by the way. That's a 55% Omega. It's doing a 75 million attack stat. And then the Shadow Dragons are at 64. Yeah, I named my showcase this yesterday, but like the free-to-play units have been on point in this celebration. But think how many disappointing free-to-play units we've gotten in the past, even in like the past year, and like this celebration is like all the free-to-play units are all so good. We've got the clones, we've got Nova, we've got the Shadow Dragons, EZA, like they're all really, really good. There you go, that's for you. But yeah, Rainbow Friend Omega. Obviously we've got technically no support, we've got the Rosé support. He's got the links from Sin, but Sin doesn't give support. Still 61 million. And the action break is nice as well. I mean, obviously it's not the be-all and end-all for this event specifically as well, because of him always supering in slot 1. The action break is just always getting rid of a normal, which, with these units and how strong they are, like, that's not going to do much. I'm running Omega, so I can't run any good extreme team. Yeah, Omega feels like a... if you like running extreme teams, like... Omega feels like a must-have out of the 4 from this celebration because of the leader skill. And I think he might be the worst out of the 4 units just in terms of like his kit, but for like the leader skill and then like the support he gives the team, he's probably the best. Right, this team is just so good, as you can see, as we sail through all of the anniversary content here. Let's do the Zamasu one, why not? For the damage. I never really use Zamasu, so let's leave Zamasu out here as well and see if the physical Omega doesn't finish him off. He's getting the big support from STR Omega though, so... $80 million for Zamasu. An additional into 52. And there you go, that's the blue Vegeta taken care of. At no point in any way, shape or form did it feel like we were struggling or even really trying that hard. Yeah, another best time. Not far off of being like half the time as well. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's Blue Vegeta, and let's jump into another one. Okay, so now we're going to do the AGL Jiren, the fight from the Goku Story Red Zone. This one was considered like the hardest fight in the game once the anniversary was properly over with. So this one's going to be interesting because we kind of have to play a little bit differently because of how quickly we can potentially beat the early phases, and then the fact that in Omega has the rotation locking. And this team, unfortunately, one of their biggest issues for this difficult content is that the new units are not going to be... Some of the units on this team are not great if they get locked in slot 1. Like, as good as this team is, characters like the LR Shadow Dragons, Texin, STR Omega, like if they get locked in slot 1 and then super attacked by these hard-hitting bosses, then it's potentially just GG straight out the gate. So the strategy that we're trying with this team now is that we're going to float the Omegas off early, get the domain up on the next turn with the friend Omega, because obviously in the first phase Bergamo's extreme, so even though the domain does buff our allies' attack, it doesn't give us the extra damage to the enemy buff because we're not fighting a superclass enemy. So we can easily still just beat Bergamo with Omega's team in one turn anyway. And then ideally we need to ideally we need to one turn both Kale and Kefla for this to work by starting it immediately on the first turn. Maybe we should have just started floating them off now. But I don't know if it's safer to like Omega probably... STR Omega in slot 1 is probably not the best idea. AGL Rose is not exactly ideal there either, but it's fine. Go ahead and do this, grab the orbs, get the buffs. Rose getting the hits in nice and early is obviously good for us as well, to be fair. So him taking the hits during the turn gives him that extra damage reduction. Yeah, 23 mil. Yeah, him getting some hits in nice and early is obviously good. Like him having the guaranteed additional super, obviously very helpful. And then hidden potential, even though it's only a normal. Omega, obviously, STR Omega gets extra attack being in slot 3, and still did a 64 million attack stat. Bear in mind, he gets extra, was it 150% attack in slot 3? So that's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah, alright, so we'll do this. I don't know if these are going to drop in such a way... Okay, yeah, nice. So yeah, ideally we would like to one-turn Kefla here, but I'm not sure. Even if we don't, though, the rotation after that is going to have an Omega in slot 1, so... After that, though, we could be in trouble, because, I mean, I guess we're potentially not going to one-turn the Int Jiren, but... You never know. With the numbers that these guys are putting out, you never know. But yeah, the slot 3 extra attack is just on top of everything else. So it'd be even more. Jeez. There's just one turning these early phases. Like, absolutely crazy. But there you go, the plan worked, although typically, now that we got to this point, they just locked the slot 3 unit anyway. But so now we've got 2 turns in a row with physical Omega in slot 1. That sets us up perfectly. So he eats the super here from Jiren. Gets sealed though, which is a little bit annoying. I forgot that he does do that with his super attack. So Omega just getting a bunch of normals now. That's the problem with him sealing, though, is the fact that we... 64 million, okay. The fact that him sealing is obviously physical Omega will be able to do a lot of damage to him, but... That's right, STR Omega just casually dropping these huge attack stats in slot 3. Jeez, alright. Calm down, Omega. I mean, don't, actually. I'm here for it, but... So much for me being worried about 2 turns. Like... And they locked the slot 3 unit again. So... I guess we're just all good. Because... We'll do this. I'll use Rosé's active so that he has the defensive buff. And I mean, that might just kill him, to be fair. Okay, no. Not quite enough damage. I guess he's only getting a little bit of support from the Shadow Dragons. And not like his best link turn or anything, but still. So yeah, Rosé should eat the super in slot 1. We'll get sealed. And then Physical Omega will finish him off. Yeah, STR Omega just putting out insane damage on this team. That's crazy. But yeah, the strategy of floating them both off straight away and then just decimating all the other phases in one turn definitely paid off here. Because then, yeah, Omega just finishes off Jiren. And now we don't have the rotation locking, and we've got our rotations. We still have both our Omegas like on the rotations and not floated off in slot 3 again. So... So get the domain back up. Seven orbs for you, perfect. And then there we go. Alright, so Rainbow Friend, Omega, plenty of links active, the support from Rosé. Dodging obviously is disabled. We used the STR Rosé active skill, which means the AGL Rosé is buffed as well. So, yeah, 56 million. And he didn't super straight away, which means if the super was going to be the first attack after Omega attacks, it's now gone. Omega didn't get any additional, so that's unfortunate. The only problem is with Rosé at the end only taking 1 attack. If that attack is the super, he won't have built up any damage reduction from taking other hits first. So he could actually be in a spot of trouble at the end of the turn here. All those symbols at the top. 27.3 for Rosé. Obviously, remember, he greatly raises his defense on each of his supers. He guaranteed gets 2. Can get the hidden potential one as well. That'd obviously be nice. I get hidden potential normal. Okay. And he just normaled. Okay, so assuming then Physical Omega just got rid of the super, which is nice. I actually don't know who tanks the super better here. I'm going to do this because if Omega does actually take some damage in slot 1 but we live, it might drop us below the 60% and then Zamasu will hit like an absolute freight train. Okay, well, we've just been really lucky with this slot 1 super RNG, I guess, against this AGL Omega. Because now if he supers, even if that wasn't the super, if he supers Omega now, he should be fine. 53 million for Zamasu. The only problem is Zamasu is not as good defensively as Rosé, so if he gets supered by Omega here, that could be unfortunate. I mean, we're either getting super lucky and just action breaking the super every time. And then, yeah, Omega doing the big boy damage in slot 3 again. It's only 46 mil. He's not as good next to Zamasu, obviously, as he is next to a Shadow Dragon. But, I mean, still dropping triple 46 million attack stats. And they all crit, so they actually did good damage, despite the type disadvantage. Like we absolutely take that. Oh, and then we get a free turn as well, because there's no attack in slot 1. Here's the active skill just for funsies. It doesn't even do anything, because it just gives them ki, which they don't need, and debuffs the enemy who can't be debuffed. So, yeah, the only reason I ever switch to Zamasu usually is like if you start the turn and you're on really low HP, I switch to Zamasu and use his active skill, and then that gives you like a full heal, and then I just switch back to Rose. Because Rose is just so good. But yeah, Jiren's just getting absolutely destroyed by this team. But yeah, that's the strat, is floating him, because if you don't do that and you just play like a normal like rotation setup, you get to int Jiren and then you normally get unlucky. We got super lucky this time around, I can't lie. Like both times he locked the slot 3 unit, but when I tried this out before, like off stream, like when I was just messing around when the new units came out, like all he needs to do is lock the int Shadow Dragons in slot 1, or like STR Omega in slot 1, and then super, and then you just lose. So by floating off the Omegas early so that they keep coming onto the rotation and going straight into slot 1, then you win. So alright, so we do this. And then this. And then we should just be GG here now. So Omega takes double digit damage, 30 mil. Now obviously without the domain, Omega's intros will like run out. He's not going to be hitting as hard. Still does some good damage. Action break. And then STR Rose can come in for the KO. So obviously his active skill is worn off as well. It's only a temporary buff for him, or for the super boss's allies, but that's all we need. So there you go, AGL Jiren. Fairly casually, I would say, with this run. Just fairly easily beaten with no items. This was the hardest event from the anniversary. We already did the Vegeta and Trunks ones. So yeah, this team, very, very good. And just absolutely, all 3 stages, all new records for like the toughest fights from the 10th anniversary. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of Omega's team. How are you running it if you did pull him? If you didn't pull him, have you been trying to run like GT bosses using the AGL Omega or something like that? Let me know what you guys think of this team and the setup. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.